Okay, now let us solve a few more examples on standard limits. Now, here we need to find limit of 1 plus 4x raised to 3 by x as x approaches 0. Now, if we look at the standard limits which we were going through earlier, out of these 6, if you observe 1 plus 4x raised to 3 by x, this somewhat matches with this fifth one, correct? So we have limit x approaches 0. Here also we have limit x approaches 0. So we have 1 plus x raised to 1 by x. So whichever x term is there, we need to have its reciprocal in the index, right? So here we have 4x. So here in the index, we need to have 1 upon 4x. But the problem here is we have 3 upon x. So remember, whichever x term we have, right, we need its reciprocal in the index. So we have 4x, so we need to have 1 upon 4x over here. So let's see how we do the adjustment over here. So we proceed with this. Limit as x approaches 0, 1 plus 4x. So we just write 1 by x and we take this factor 3 outside here. Okay, right? Because 3 upon x is nothing but 3 into 1 by x. So we have separated out this 3 here. Now we have 4x here and we need 1 upon 4x over here. So we need to multiply and divide by 4 over here. So next step would be limit as x approaches 0, 1 plus 4x. Now in the index we'll write 1 upon 4x. Now since we have divided by 4, we need to multiply outside by 4. Correct? So finally what we get is limit of 1 plus 4x as x approaches 0 raised to 1 upon 4x, the whole thing raised to 12. Now we have a standard limit inside and the value of this limit is e. So your final answer would be e raised to 12, right? So here we are using which standard form? Limit of 1 plus x raised to 1 by x as x approaches 0 is equal to e. So we are applying this standard form in question 14. Now let us take one more example based on this standard limit. Now pay careful attention here. So we need to obtain limit as x approaches 0 of 1 minus 5x upon 1 plus 5x, the whole thing raised to 1 upon x. Now here we use law of indices. A upon b raised to m is nothing but a raised to m upon b raised to m. So first we separate the numerator and the denominator here. So what we have here is limit as x approaches 0, 1 minus 5x raised to 1 by x upon 1 plus 5x raised to 1 by x, right? Now if you consider this standard limit, we need 1 plus the x term and in the index it's reciprocal. Now here the x term is minus 5x. So we need to have 1 upon minus 5x here. And in the denominator it is plus 5x. So in the index we need to have 1 upon 5x. So next step would be limit as x approaches 0, 1, you could write this as plus minus 5x. Subtraction could be written as addition raised to 1 upon minus 5x, and we balance this by 5. Correct? Divided by. Next what we do is, in the denominator you have 1 plus 5x raised to 1 upon 5x. Okay, again into 5. Now I made a silly mistake here. See, I've multiplied by, or rather I've divided by minus 5. So I need to multiply by minus 5 here. Now what we do is, we separate the two limits. So the first limit would be limit of 1 plus minus 5x raised to 1 upon minus 5x, the whole thing raised to minus 5, as x approaches 0. And in the denominator we have limit of 1 plus 5x raised to 1 upon 5x, the whole thing raised to 5, as x approaches 0. Now the value of this standard limit is e. So we have e raised to minus 5. Again the value of this standard limit is e, but raised to 5. Next, again we use law of indices. E raised to minus 5, if you bring it in the denominator, it becomes e raised to 5. And you already have one more e raised to 5 here, right? If you remember this, a raised to minus m is 1 upon a raised to m. Now, e raised to 5 into e raised to 5 is nothing but e raised to 5 plus 5, which is 1 upon e raised to 10. So here basically you have two limits hidden in the same single limit. So the same form appears in the numerator as well as the denominator. So first we separate the two functions, the numerator and the denominator, using this law of indices. Then we try and adjust the index. Here we have minus 5x. So we try and obtain 1 upon minus 5x by multiplying and dividing by minus 5. In the denominator you have positive 5x. So we multiply and divide by positive 5 in the index here. Then we separate the two limits. The numerator limit value is e raised to minus 5. And the denominator value is e raised to 5. Again e raised to minus 5, you bring it in the denominator, and final answer turns out to be 1 upon e raised to 10.